What's going on, guys? It's Suareezy here, back at you with another Market Mondays. Today we'll be going over what exact levels we should be looking at for crypto. Alright, first up we got Bitcoin on the 24-hour time frame, and let's see what we've done over this last week. So last week we were sitting pretty much at this 23,957 zone. What we were looking for was two things, either the continuation breakout on volume or looking for the reduction on volume and the rejection of our monthly level. And we ended up getting the push off of one thing that we did hone in on last week was going to be volume. If we see volume that was coming in, continuing the push of the breakout zone of this smaller range for the last month or so, and then we had a way bigger range that we started to break out of about 8 months, sitting around 25.2. So currently we are getting the touch of our 28.6 level that we were looking for, and currently getting a reject right off of that. What I'd be looking for is ideally a pullback. Again, depending on how far we pull back will show us how strong the trend will actually continue, or if it'll actually start to tinker off. The main thing that we have to be definitely looking at is two things: looking at our monthly level and definitely checking out the volume. If the volume starts to tinker off and we don't get another spurt of volume coming in, then ideally is going to happen is a consolidation range and then a pullback at the end of the day. And how far we pull back will give us the certainty of how strong the trend will continue to go, or if it'll actually start to reverse. So this 28.6 is a very key level to be looking out for. Also, what I'd be doing is drawing this little trend line here as well. And if you start breaking that trend line, then ideally wanting to come back and test either this next trend line, this top 100%, or even this 100% here. So around that 25.2, 24.2 area, and then this moving price target of the trend line as well. So definitely watching these zones and making sure to be on the lookout for some type of formation that will get us to an apex point where we will have to make a move, where volume will have to come in, or it'll have to tinker off and we'll actually get the rejection. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Alright, next up we got Ethereum. But before we jump into Ethereum, if you haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel, please make sure to do so, as it really helps the channel grow. Also, make sure to turn on those notification buttons to be notified whenever we have any new videos being dropped. So, on to Ethereum. Alright, so now we got Ethereum on the 24-hour time frame. And just like with Bitcoin, we're pretty much sitting in the same area within the last week, and pretty much the same situation. We're looking for the monthly breakout to see if we can get the breakout of the range that we're sitting within, and trying to see if we're going to get the next monthly level, which we did not end up getting. Currently we are getting that rejection, trying to see if we're going to hold this 100% of the breakout range and potentially this trend line. And same situation with Bitcoin. If we happen to break this trend line, looking for the next monthly level, or even to our next trend line as well. So ideally here, looking for pretty much the same thing: pullback, looking for a continuation push. If we could get the volume to start coming in, we need volume that's pretty abnormal, that looks somewhat like it did here. Notice the reaction to price action. If we start tinkering off, we will start to get the inevitable pullback. So one thing to definitely be watching is going to be these monthly levels: 1700, 1886, 86, and watching the volume. If we can actually start to hold this area and actually start getting volume to come around, then we can ideally try to retest the high to get a touch of our monthly level. But again, that's all contingent on the volume coming in. If we don't see any volume coming in, ideally we can consolidate and just pull through. So definitely keep an eye on this 100% level, and keeping an eye out on this trend line as well. And this will help us determine the certainty of continuation of trend, or actually getting the inevitable pullback. So that was going to be it for this week's Market Mondays, and I'll catch you on next week's Market Mondays.